For many decades, Sweden was considered the most progressive country in the world. It gained an international reputation for being at the forefront of every liberal or leftist cause there is. But very few people know that for a couple of years at the start of this century, Sweden actually even experimented with its own version of our black economic empowerment that we see here in South Africa. The policy of systematically excluding whites for people of all colors, something that South Africa is facing growing criticism for, was once actually tried in Sweden, but it failed miserably. The city of Uppsala, located just north of Sweden's capital Stockholm, is home to Uppsala University, one of the oldest and most renowned universities in all of Scandinavia. Founded back in 1477, the university has for centuries played an immense role in shaping Swedish identity and culture. Like many universities in the Western world at the start of the century, Uppsala experimented with far-left ideologies such as Marxism, but this university went even further in implementing race Marxism, also known as affirmative action. In fact, shortly after Uppsala University had introduced its preferential admissions policy based on ethnicity or race, smaller Swedish universities such as Örebro University and Karlstad University even followed in their footsteps by introducing their own admissions policy based on race. Yet in December 2006, exactly 19 years ago today, Sweden's experiment of BEE was brought to an abrupt end. Stay tuned, because in today's video we are going to highlight how one European country actually tried to follow in South Africa's footsteps, a country that had supported the ANC almost since its inception, but opted out before it was too late. Throughout much of the 20th century, Sweden was considered the most liberal and social democratic paradise on earth. From the 1930s onwards, Sweden introduced a mixed economic system of capitalism combined with the welfare state, which operated with so much success that the country really became the benchmark for a socialist democracy around the world. Following the Second World War, when a consensus was established throughout the Western world that liberal democracy was the way forward, Sweden always seemed to tick all of the boxes set forward by the united consensus of the world. From gender equality to civil rights, to openness to multiculturalism and universal healthcare. On every human development index since the 60s, Sweden also consistently ranked in the top 5 countries in the world. By the 90s, left-wing scholars worldwide were singing Sweden's praises, especially in terms of its policy on immigration and multiculturalism. Sweden's universities were also the forefront of promoting postmodernism in scholarship, when postmodernism was all the hype at the start of the new millennium. But during the first couple of decades of the 21st century, everything started to change when their openness to multiculturalism actually started to turn into real multiculturalism. The demographic shift that was brought about by these open immigration policies was starting to bear ugly fruits. As a 2021 study by 4 scholars from the University of Malmö in Sweden revealed, the number of rapes committed in the country increased by 45% between just 2008 and 2018. The most recent government data also indicates that between 2023 and 2024, the number of these crimes committed in Sweden increased by a further 7% within the period of 1 year alone. Furthermore, after reaching an all-time low in 2012, Sweden's homicide rate has also started to increase by around 30% over the past few years. And of course, all of the studies confirm that the overwhelming majority of these crimes are, surprise, being committed by these multicultural immigrants that are not native to the Swedish or Scandinavian lands. This absolute collapse of Sweden's social fabric has given rise to an increase in nationalist and conservative sentiments over the past 2 decades. In a country where left-wing parties used to dominate elections, the right-wing Sweden Democrats are now the second largest party in the country. One of the ways in which Sweden also most clearly deviated from the globalist trend was in its unique response to COVID-19, when it was one of the very few European countries not to have a lockdown, preferring to rely on the responsibility of the citizens as opposed to government-enforced laws. But another important way in which Sweden has turned away from its 20th century leftist dream was when it declared affirmative action in university admissions illegal by 2006. In 2003, Uppsala University introduced a preferential admissions or affirmative action policy for law school applicants who came from migrant or non-Swedish backgrounds. This entailed reserving at least 10% of its law school admissions to people who are of immigrant background. 2 Swedish women who were denied entry into the university's law school despite having far better marks than all of the minorities who were admitted, consequently took Uppsala University to court and won the case in 2006. The courts concluded that the university broke Swedish law by discriminating against Swedes in favor of people of color. The ruling brought an abrupt end to Sweden's brief experimentation with a policy that is very much reminiscent of South Africa's black economic empowerment laws as it pertains to university applications. Although it was a lot milder than in South Africa, the discriminatory practices of Uppsala University as well as 2 other Swedish universities, Örebro University and Karlstad University, were brought to an end right around the time that public sentiment in Sweden was becoming increasingly conservative and nationalist due to the decline in social fabric brought upon by this multicultural experiment. What happened in Sweden is a lesson and an encouragement for us here in South Africa. Locally and internationally, opinion is strongly turning against the ANC's BE policies that have been crippling this country for over 2 decades now. The 2006 court ruling in Sweden, which criminalized affirmative action policies in that country, was earlier this year amplified and solidified by US President Donald Trump's executive order on the 21st of January of this year, which ended the illegal practice of affirmative action which had been in place in the United States for almost 40 years when it had done that. All around the Western world, the tide is now turning, and the post-World War II left-wing political order is finally starting to crack. Affirmative action failed in Sweden, and it failed in America, and the ANC, which has always been a product of that post-World War political order, that liberal order, the political order which has enabled them to come into power in the first place, is now starting to crumble before our own eyes. This is why we highlighted in a recent video that the destruction of the ANC is inevitable. Check out by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now. And do consider supporting our work by becoming a paid member of the Willem Petzer Group. Your support enables us to change the hearts and minds of people with videos such as these. Just follow these easy steps underneath me. Goodbye and God bless.